Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets from 2002 movie. Oh. The first sequel and the second installment to this franchise. Just a 0 out of 10. I'm not even waiting to give it a rating this time. So Harry's on house arrest because after humiliating his shitty parent figures and has bars on the windows and locked in his room, so he can't really go anywhere without the parents seeing that the parents they're not really his parents, so this shitheads. But the closest thing gets to a human family, I guess, because Dumbledore picked them, because he's a shithead. So, turns out the reason why he hasn't gotten letters from his friends respond to his letters and have wrote they respond they haven't wrote back because this guy that's a elf called Dobby has been keeping them behind his back, out of his reach, because he's an asshole and hired and enslaved by the Malfoy's father to make sure that he doesn't want to go back to Hogwarts, because he doesn't want to feel. I mean, he wants Harry to feel like he's not welcome back to Hogwarts. So, therefore, if Harry doesn't go back to Hogwarts, Harry won't die in Hogwarts and won't be a life-death situation. So, he's doing this to save Harry, I guess. So, which leads to him and Harry getting in trouble because Dobby humiliates him and gets him in trouble. Because Dobby's a dick. This just pushes Harry want to go back to Hogwarts further. Why did that community get him in trouble? Will want him not want to go back to Hogwarts? Because he's a fucking asshole and a dumbass. Sure, he might seem all sweet and a sweetheart and nice and smart and intelligent and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, but in here, he's just an asshole played by the same Andy Serkis in motion captured form. So here he plays in this is his best moment, I say. And Dobby is fucking annoying when he's happy or having a freak out to the point you want to strangle him yourself. Worse than Jar Jar Binks, he's annoying in this movie. Yes, he somehow makes Jar Jar Binks look like fucking Han Solo from the original trilogy of Star Wars. That's how annoying this little shit is. Oh, in this movie. The entire movie, whenever his fucking face shows, he's the most annoying, relentless piece of horse shit you could ever imagine to annoy the shit out of anybody. And like if him and Jonathan Binks had an annoying contest of who can annoy someone harder, I think Dobby would win out of those two if he had annoying shithead standoff contest. Showdown. Oh, now that I got that out of my system, Ron Weasley steals his dad's car and bails him out of house arrest and takes him to Hogwarts, and which Ron Weasley gets in trouble when he gets an angry letter from his mother saying that he's in deep trouble. Then the car talks after all it's all down to Hogwarts. And bunch of slapstick comedy happens, one thing after the other, until the strange things start to go into Hogwarts, and something going wrong about the Chamber of Secrets. Cases going on in Hogwarts. What about the Chamber of Secrets? And yeah. So everyone turns on Harry once they see writing on the wall of blood and out of blood writing on the wall. After Harry, on the night after the showdown between him and Malfoy, like summons a snake to attack Harry, and Harry just talks to the snake, and everyone doesn't understand Harry because to him because he goes. Now this is actually foreshadowed in the first one where he can talk to snakes, and snakes always have the ability to talk to snakes. And to him, it sounds like normal talk, but to everyone else, it sounds like he's slithering up to the snake. Oh, like speaking of snake. And this freaks everyone out, including Maya and Ronald, her two buddies. And they're all going to accuse that if he's related to Dumbledore. No, not Dumbledore, this accusing that they're all start accusing him that he's related to the no-name people that don't like to say his name in Hogwarts, and now in the rest of the Wizard world called Voldemort. And so this leads to a writing gang running on the walls and blood, and the teacher accuses Harry after Harry denies it, and just gets Harry in trouble when he didn't do anything after asking him, because the teachers are dicks and everyone's a paranoid freak show in Hogwarts. And soon he starts unraveling the mystery behind the Chamber of Secrets. Soon with his help with his friends. This time, again, everyone's all hush-hush about. So they go to talk to this ginormous spider and his ginormous spider family that he has. One tried to eat Harry after having a little chat and getting answers from this ginormous spider that used to be Hagrid's pet, but now has his own life of his own. And I guess he misses after he asks Harry, "Is that you?" We're not Harry, we're actually friends of Harry. Do you think it asks what's about the Chamber of Secrets, and why was Harry's involvement into it, and what's going on about that? What's that about? So it turns out Harry didn't open the Chamber of Secrets; he was his friend. But by who? The same person that keeps on he has some devil that keeps on appearing in the Chamber of Secrets flashbacks in each one. But who's this mysterious figure? And Lord Voldemort's diary. It is. The mysterious figure is the diary of Lord Voldemort, which is the living spirit of Lord Voldemort in the diary. Revealed no further that. So the guy exists in the diary of Lord Voldemort's diary that used to belong to him before it got somehow in the Library of Hogwarts. On this, for some reason, you think they keep a safer place to keep that. If it belonged to the Dark Lord, right? They don't just put it in the school library. Because why the fuck not? Surely no one will ever pick that out. Oh wait, Harry picked that book out. Because he wants to know about the Chamber of Secrets and what's going on what's the story behind it. So he wants to release the other. Then turns out, before Harry got the book, Harry's friend that he's never met before in these movies up until this point that has never been shown by us, the viewers, the audience. But if you read the first two books, you know that she's Harry's foreshadowing love interest / future wife. And they have chemistry between each other in the first two books. If you read the books. But if you didn't read the books, you just know when the twist is about to be unfolding, and it's being explained. This is the first time you, the audience, have ever seen her in these movies and know that she means something to Harry. This is stupid. And she's only shown in, like, passed out in blood next to the book and flashbacks explain her doing behind the Chamber of Secrets, and that she was the one that framed Harry and wrote writing on the wall with blood, her own blood, and found the book in the first place that used to belong to Voldemort. And he's explained his old diabolical plan, and the reason why he's doing this is because Voldemort is his past and future. Dun dun dun! As he's living, breathing, and farting spirit that he was living in the Voldemort's little book, he tells to Harry and writing, saying backwards, writing, he writes his name back, name backwards, with the name backwards, and then does his magic trick that we has it reverses the backwards writing and says, "I am Lord Voldemort." It says. Because this is young Voldemort who used to go to Hogwarts. He was the one that was in all those flashbacks. And apparently he was the part of Gryffindor, the same as Harry's club, and went to the same school as Harry. And apparently that is the same, that mystery wand that Harry got for his first wand. Judging by the owner that used the that had the shop, it is suggested that is Voldemort's old wand that he used to have as a kid when he went to Hogwarts. It's suggested it's suggested just, it's not really explained in the movies, but it makes more sense if you piece together the pieces of the seeds that have been planted for these first two ones you watch them back and forth. Chamber of Secrets and Sorcerer's Stone. So you can kind of piece together the pieces of the kind of history he had with Hogwarts before he turned to the Prince of the Dark Club Prince. Hmm. You just wish there was more. There was more steps shown to show you, in these first two movies. But it's interesting, So just this Harry has to face off against this enormous giant snake that can't even understand Harry when he tries talking to it. And all Voldemort points at the obvious before he even tries it. And so instead of going toe to Voldemort, he goes toe to his Voldemort's ginormous pet snake that he can communicate, but Harry can't for some reason now. For some reason, it doesn't communicate with Harry, but can communicate with Voldemort from the book, Voldemort's diary book. That's not really real Voldemort, but Voldemort's ghost from the spirit of the book that lives directly in the book. But it's not the real Voldemort. It's a version of Voldemort, past version of Voldemort. Voldemort, up until this point, is still the real one, supposedly in hiding and plain sight, or dead. Not really sure what happened to after the Sorcerer's Stone, until we get to the fourth one. That's when we make his return, the real Voldemort. So Harry has to kill the snake and with his sword. Instead, he can't really kill with the sword until he outsmarts it with sound and finds the snake because it's blind. And then he kills it once again to drop on it. So then when his friend is essentially dying and about to die, he comes with this idea to save her life by stabbing the Voldemort's diary, which also makes Voldemort from the book Voldemort's diary explode. But it works by saving Harry's friend's life by stabbing the book that I guess possessed her somehow. Why did the stabbing the book save her life? With the poisonous venom from the snake tooth that Harry stabbed the book with? Not in this in the movie, not really explained. Makes more sense if you read the book, though, trust me, it actually makes more sense, this story as a whole, but, this just makes as much sense as the first adaptation, with the Harry Potter stories, as Sorcerer's Stone did, Chamber of Secrets, but, it's somehow dumber and sillier. Oh, and this is probably when, people, Harry and Ronald will turn him into the council. This teacher that's a frog that's a writer. And then he wiped his own memory somehow by trying to wipe Harry's memory with magic. And then Harry and after Harry and Ronald make it down there and get separated from. And then he sees the fight between Voldemort and the snake. And the snake thing. Yes, it's not important. It's the main plot. I just wanted it's kind of like a side thing of the main plot. So and happy ending after the escape from Voldemort's lair where the snake was being kept after the diary's been destroyed. And sort of. It just got stabbed with his Voldemort's snake venom tooth that Harry stabbed with. And somehow they destroyed the diary. And somehow to save Harry's friend's life which is his future love interest in the book and movies, but is actually explained and explored upon in the book series, but not really the movies. And the movies feels more like an afterthought. And if it was possibly supposed to be a important story element for the movie, they obviously edited it out in the final product in each 8 films. So, what have we learned? The book adaptation sucked. Making movies out of books, or if one book or series saga can do more harm than good in hindsight as it ages over time. And just because something's popular and well liked doesn't always necessarily mean it's good. It usually, to me, I have noticed it usually is the opposite outcome. If something's more popular and more liked, that's mostly because it was groundbreaking and a different movie for them, rather than it actually being a good movie. Especially in the early 2000s, oh god. That had the most common thing to happen. In 2000, more common than the 90s happened. Or the 80s. Just yeah. So as we end, I'm trying to remember. So it has happy ending again. All ends well, and I think it ends with Dobby being free from Harry with a stock of clothing. Frees Dobby from his slave days, and now he's a free elf. And they go their separate ways. Now that they're buddies, friends, Dobby and Harry. Now that he's free elf. And yeah, sin all is forgiven by everybody, everyone's forgiven, blah blah blah. And I think the end, it's the same ending where they go on the train and go back home to their home or their normal dull human life in the human world, blah blah blah. It's just, this is a little stupid, more stupid than the first one. Did I give it a 0 out of 10? I did, right. Fuck. Yeah. That's it.